ഇന്ന് നമ്മൾ ഡിസ്കസ് ചെയ്യാൻ പോകുന്നത് നീലകണ്ഠ പാണിഗ്രഹിയുടെ ഒരു ബുക്കാണ് കേട്ടോ. ട്രൈബൽ ലൈവ്ലിഹുഡ് ഇൻ ചേഞ്ചിങ് പേഴ്സ്പെക്റ്റീവ് എന്നാണ് ബുക്കിൻ്റെ പേര്. ഈ ഒരു ബുക്കിൽ എന്തൊക്കെയാണ് അനലൈസ് ചെയ്യുന്നതെന്ന് പറയാം. ദ ബുക്ക് അനലൈസസ് ദ പ്രോസസ് ഓഫ് ടെക്നോളജി ട്രാൻസ്ഫർ ടു ട്രൈബൽ കമ്മ്യൂണിറ്റീസ് വിച്ച് ഈസ് റിഗാർഡഡ് ആസ് വൺ ഓഫ് ദ കീ എലമെൻറ്റ്സ് ഇൻ ദർ ഡെവലപ്മെൻറ്റ്. അപ്പോൾ വളരെയധികം ഇമ്പോർട്ടൻ്റ് ആയിട്ടുള്ള ഒരു കീ എലമെൻ്റ് എന്ന് നമുക്ക് പറയാം. ഡെവലപ്മെൻറ്റിന് വേണ്ടിയിട്ടുള്ളൊരു കീ എലമെൻ്റായിട്ടാണ് പ്രോസസ് ഓഫ് ടെക്നോളജിയെ പറയുന്നത്. അപ്പോൾ അതാണ് ഈ ഒരു ബുക്കിൽ നമ്മൾ ഡിസ്കസ് ചെയ്യുന്നത്. എ കോംപ്രഹെൻസീവ് ആൻഡ് സിസ്റ്റമാറ്റിക് അപ്രോച്ച് ഇൻ ദിസ് ട്രീറ്റി ഇൻറ്റൻസ് ടു ഫിൽ സം ഓഫ് ദ ഗ്യാപ്സ് ഇൻ ദി എക്സിസ്റ്റിംഗ് ലിറ്ററേച്ചർ ഓൺ ദി സബ്ജക്റ്റ് ഓഫ് മാനേജ്മെൻറ്റ് ഓഫ് ടെക്നോളജി ട്രാൻസ്ഫർ. ഫ്യൂ ഓഫ് ദ ഇഷ്യൂസ് ഡെൽറ്റ് ഇൻ ദിസ് ചാപ്റ്റർ ഇൻക്ലൂഡ്. എന്തൊക്കെയാണ് ഈ ഒരു ചാപ്റ്ററിൽ ഇൻക്ലൂഡ് ചെയ്യുന്നതെന്നാണ് പറഞ്ഞിരിക്കുന്നത്. Nature and elements of technology, then its relation to socio-cultural context, technological change and its context in developing communities, structural, contextual aspects and dynamics of enforced and induced technologies, and the key elements and their interrelationships, that is, major factors responsible for the effectiveness of the transfer processes. ഇതൊക്കെയാണ് ഇതിൽ മെയിനായിട്ട് ഡീൽ ചെയ്യുന്ന കാര്യങ്ങൾ. അടുത്തതായിട്ട് പറയുന്നത് ജസ്റ്റിഫിക്കേഷൻസ് ഓഫ് ദ സ്റ്റഡി ഓഫ് ടെക്നോളജി ട്രാൻസ്ഫർ. സ്റ്റഡി ഓഫ് ടെക്നോളജി ട്രാൻസ്ഫറിന് നൽകുന്ന ആ ഒരു ജസ്റ്റിഫിക്കേഷനാണ്. എന്താണ് ടെക്നോളജി എന്ന് പറയുന്നത്, എന്താണ് എന്നൊക്കെ ഇതിൽ പറയുന്നുണ്ട്. ടെക്നോളജി ഈസ് വൺ ഓഫ് ദ മേജർ ഫോഴ്സസ് റിക്വയർഡ് ഫോർ ദി ഇക്കണോമിക് ഗ്രോത്ത് ഓഫ് എ നേഷൻ. Therefore, it is believed that an efficient technology transfer system would lead to an efficient use of resource. ഇപ്പോൾ എഫിഷ്യൻറ്റ് യൂസ് ഓഫ് റിസോഴ്സസിനെ ഹെൽപ്പ് ചെയ്യുന്നതാണ് എഫിഷ്യൻറ്റ് ടെക്നോളജി ട്രാൻസ്ഫർ എന്ന് പറയുന്നത്. ഓൺ ദിസ് പ്രിമൈസ് മെനി സ്കോളേഴ്സ്, പ്ലാനേഴ്സ്, ടെക്നോക്രാറ്റ്സ്, ഇംപ്ലിമെൻറ്റേഴ്സ് ആൻഡ് പൊളിറ്റീഷ്യൻസ് ഇൻ ഡെവലപ്പിംഗ് കൺട്രീസ് ഹാവ് ട്രീറ്റഡ് ഇൻഡസ്ട്രിയലൈസേഷൻ ആസ് എ സിനോണിം ഫോർ ഇക്കോണമിക് ആൻഡ് സോഷ്യോ കൾച്ചറൽ ഡെവലപ്മെൻറ്റ്. അതിൻ്റെ സൈറ്റേഷൻസ് ഒക്കെ പറഞ്ഞിട്ടുണ്ട്. കോൾമാൻ ആൻഡ് നിക്സണിൻ്റെ 1978 എന്നാണ് പറഞ്ഞിട്ടുള്ളത്. ദെൻ മിങ് ആൻഡ് സിംഗ് 1999. The importance of technology in supporting and sustaining socio-economic growth and natural development has been extensively well documented over time. Then both hard and soft domains of development of technologies are now considered as the precondition for comprehensive development of the underdeveloped communities of the world. History of technology transfer has witnessed many success and failure process. Reasons have well been established that is clear. It is difficult to generalize the factors across the regions and communities. Biosocial and biophysical factors seem to be different and are contextual to time and space specific. The book aims to point out the contextual factors contribute in building a practical approach for the planners and implementers to improve the chances of a process extremely important for many developing communities. Available literature on technology transfer is inadequate and suffers from a systematic and comprehensive understanding which aimed at gaining insights into the technology transfer process. It has tried to identify important factors and processes that have been overlooked by different stakeholders and tries to arrive at a realistic and suitable model for the transfer of technology to developing communities. This understanding on the approach to technology transfer may help in developing macro approaches and methodologies to build a more comprehensive model of technology transfer for a developing and or backward community and in the field of their socio-economic frontiers of life and livelihood. Then problem of developing communities. The academic literature relating to social sector development so far produced on developing communities, if scanned properly, very few studies found containing up-to-date information on the science, technology and social development of these communities. The fact remains that around 60% of the total world output relating to science and technology was produced by only 11 industrially developed countries. The technology transfer requires assessment at the level of technological and the technical capability of various facilitative sub-processes, which in other words called as the technological adjustment. These processes at community level influence their ability to absorb new technologies, which in other way are influenced by the level of overall development of the society. The more the developed a community is, the adoption processes and the internalization of new technologies become easier, whereas if the society or community is less developed or advanced, then the process for adoption of technologies are slower and or difficult. Transfer of knowledge and technology to developing communities is dependent on various factors, that is lack of adequate financial and technological resources, low per capita income and gross national product GNP, high income disparity and the lack of hard currency are the major economic and financial factors which have influenced process of transfer in most developing countries. At higher level, some of the factors which influences the processes of transfer of technologies include the rigid or insensitive bureaucracy, high rates of illiteracy, traditional and high value based cultural practices, indigenous knowledge system, rudimentary skill level, nature of poor resource flow, service delivery, etc. Transfer of technology as a set of specialized knowledge from one place, that is, where it is generated, to another may be seen as an organized technological flow with its own complexity. The world becomes increasingly interdependent. Therefore, transfer of technologies from one community to another plays a key role in their development. For example, transfer of Western technologies to Japan was extremely successful and has been a predominant factor in securing Japan its current technological position in the world. Problems involving the mastery of foreign technologies do not arise in exchanges between developed societies in the same way as for developing societies. But for a developing community, the capacity transferred is not predetermined to the same extent. It can range from the mere transfer of production or organizational capacity to the mastery of a complete process from design to production. The technological backwardness of many developing communities on the one hand reflects the essential needs of transferring modern technologies into the developing communities. But in practice, technology transfer is more than physically transferring the technology for extra production. Technology transfer may be a beginning of a solution to someone else's problems. A complete system is required for technology transfer, which must accommodate the movement of technology from a physical transaction to indigenous technological endowment of technology adoption and development in a host country. It is also clear that good choice of technologies to be transferred critically upon the availability of the relevant information in the host community. Various complex factors are involved in the consideration of the social, political, economic, and environmental aspects of technology transfer. So, complex factors are involved in the consideration of social, political, economic, and environmental aspect of technology transfer. Some of the factors are not completely defined or it cannot be precisely measured. As a result, many times technology evaluations within the process of technology transfer are necessarily subjective by nature. Technology innovation, change and development. Technology as a means of socio-economic change refers to the capabilities of human society to transfer the nature, that is resources, into useful products for human consumption. It is a man-made phenomenon that affects people, their knowledge, human institutions, and the environment, as well as economic, industrial, and social system. It is a dynamic process fundamental to development that brings about socio-economic change as well as the growth of human knowledge, leading to further technological progress and new cycles of growth. Technology has both benevolent and malevolent effects of its own. Its possible impacts are manifold through continuous updation and improvisation of technology so as to meet needs and challenges facing contemporary societies. It is now universally recognized that technological change is vital to socio-economic growth. Nobel laureate economist Robert Solow, 1957, concluded that much of the increase in American standards of living was due to technological change having caused 87.5% of the increase in output per capita from 1909 to 1949. In support of this idea, Mansfield contends that the rate of technological change is perhaps the most important single determinant of a nation's rate of economic growth. The accelerating rate of technological progress indicates that there may be no part of the future economy that will not be affected by either existing or emerging technologies. Recent years have witnessed a renewed interest in activities that generate technological change in many countries. These activities feature centrally in the new trade and new growth theories. In developing countries, on the other hand, one sees considerable progress and increasing efficiency in different technologies. This is the result of continuous adaptation, improvement, and development. Technological change in developing countries has both external as well as an internal origin. Foreign technological knowledge often embodied in important machinery and equipments. The imported technologies also flow in blueprints, patents, instruction manuals, and other such disembodied technical documents, frequently forming part and parcel of the new technologies. Technology is the magic word in today's ideological lexicon. Not only developed nations but even developing countries may be seen as societies permeated by technology. New technology, key technology, high technology, up to date technology, leading age technology, state of the art technology. These words would have these words have become part of the everyday language of people who have little knowledge of science and technology. No one can have reasonable view on technology and technological growth as constituting purely positive and healthy developments. In developing countries, technology will lead automatically to improved welfare, but the evidence shows that there are no such automatic routes. Technology is accorded the credit for generating innumerable improvements in human living conditions. The huge benefits of technology for developing countries are acknowledged. It is also held responsible for the destruction of ecological and environmental equilibrium, for causing pollution, noise, dirt, hazards, ugliness, monotonous jobs, antisocial housing, cultural disruption, and other psychological distress. This paradox of benefits and disbenefits is caused by the introduction of new technologies or due to the new application of existing technologies. Economic development in reality is a complex process of structural change heavily influenced by new generic technologies themselves. Closely linked with science and technology capabilities, science and technology have thus acquired social power in the present age of wealth production. Researchers have been addressing crucial questions concerning misunderstandings about technology and development interaction. These questions can be summarized as follows. What is the optimum range of technological usefulness? To what extent can we expect the socially most beneficial technologies to be developed and applied in any society? What controls the nations and individuals over the application of technology? How is the nature of the family life, and work likely to be affected by the introduction of new technologies both within home and at the workplace? Can we predict the likely social consequences of technology transfer? Do developing countries face obstacles to economic development because of their adherence to traditional technologies? How can developing communities acquire, adopt and diffuse imported technologies that mostly come from unfamiliar socio-cultural systems? Is it possible to eliminate or even decrease the negative effects of imported technologies in order to improve people's efficiency and productivity? What environmental and social adjustment problems may be encountered as a result of the emergence of new technologies? Do these technologies increase the control over natural resources?